Oh, we are here in that summer, episode 4, where all that Wave is thinking about right now is that kiss that lava planted on him that night. Now all he can do is just look at the man that landed a passionate kiss on him. You know when people say that when you're in love and you look at the very person that you despise before, they have a different aura or different look? That is exactly what Wave is seeing on Lava. I don't blame him because that kiss changed everything. Everything. And then come Mound, Peng, telling Lava that, yo, you need to do this and that work after you done the old job that you haven't completed. And Lava is like, dude, I haven't finished the other one that you told me to do. Plus, you're not even paying me overtime. And Peng is like, dude, you didn't do anything to even deserve the overpay. Also, he's telling Lava that, yo, once you done that, go do other stuff because I have to go to the office and deal with some paperwork when clearly that's not what he's about to do. And even Lava knows that's not what he's about to do. But we're going to pretend that we know that's what Peng is going to do. Anyways, after the uncle left, Wave looked at Lava and is like, dude, are you going to tell your uncle that you know about his secret relationship with Dr. Wood? And Lava is like, no, I'm going to use this at my advantage and find out the real dirt of why he's keeping it a secret and then use it against his uncle. Like, damn, dude, don't you have anything to do? He gave you work. Anyways, after making up that plan, what Wave said he's not going to be a part of that plan. Then he changed the subject and started talking about that kiss that Lava planted on him last night, saying that the kiss got him thinking and he didn't get him to sleep. He's smiling and all that, and it's like, oh, the kiss got you that good, huh? But while he's saying all that, trying to tell Lava that, yo, what is this meaning? What do you mean by the kiss? Lava knows where it's going, and Lava pretended and just walked away, distracting himself somewhere else. I'm like, dude, we were on a serious topic, serious conversation, and you distracted yourself, pretending that you didn't hear me. Anyways, Wave decided to go on his own to the public library, and he got not really distracted, but he heard someone playing the piano and it draw him to that place, and he saw a little boy play the piano. Now, this little boy is very important. Well, at least to me, it's very important in the story down the line. I'll let you know why, I'll let you know why, but still. The whole thing is so cute. He's telling the little boy that how he's playing the piano is a little bit flat. He should be sending his fingers this way. For a person who doesn't remember, his brain and body is telling him, yeah, you play piano, but you are good and you weren't here, you know. Anyways, the little boy said he wants to be a pianist and go to like regionals and stuff like that, but he lacks the funds, and this piano was gifted to him by someone, but that was his teacher, but his teacher doesn't stay here anymore. He went back home. Now I feel like either the teacher is Victor or one of his family members, one of Darwin's family member or somebody, because he went back home. Who is this person? Now I want you to take a good look at this little boy, because I'm going to mention him down the line soon, because I feel like he really is important in this storyline. Just hear me out. Then comes Lava with his funny and playful antics, ruining the old mood for the little lesson plan or the lesson that he's trying to teach the little boy. I honestly, Wade didn't have to look back to know it was Lava, because Tommy's not going to do this. Peng is not going to do this. Dr. Wood is not going to do it. Only Lava is the crazy person to do this thing. Ain't gonna lie you. Winnie and Satang, you need a little bit more drama to come through, because this one drama is masterpiece. Of course, the uncle picked them up. Not sure why didn't Lava rode the bike, but that's a story for another whatever. All I'm saying is, though, this island is big. Like, it's not that small as I thought it would be. But anyways, Wave is telling Lava's Uncle Peng that he feels like he wants to be a teacher to teach piano. Then the uncle's like, how are you gonna teach piano if you can't even remember certain things about piano, let alone know your name? You don't know nothing about yourself, but all of a sudden you just know you can teach piano. Then comes the fact that Peng said, okay, he's gonna talk to school and see what he can do. Then he said, okay, I'm dropping you two off to clean the boat. I'm going to meet somebody, whatever, do some things. And then he said something about the doctor. And then Lava, he's talking about, wow, you talk so highly about the doctor. Homeboy was defending his boyfriend through and through. He said, hey, Wood knows stuff. He's a doctor. He's smart. Mind your business. And whatever you had to say, shut it. Also, GMMTV or whoever the editors are decided to take out some part of the whole thing, because when I watched the preview for what's going to come up next for this episode, there are certain clips I didn't see, and now I'm watching the YouTube version. If it's on a different app and it's showing that way, I apologize. Also, sometimes when Lava opens his mouth, he offends people sometimes, because whenever he's talking about Dr. Wood, he said something. It wasn't defensive, but he said something, and Peng got serious. Now, hear me out. Man can act serious in front of your face, and already you folded. Like, you cannot, decide that you want to fight this man and think you would win. You'd lose. You lose mentally and physically. Okay, so after Peng left Lava and Wave to do cleanup, he left, right? But Lava decided that he's not gonna do no cleanup. He's following his uncle to see where he's going, because he knows his uncle ain't going to wherever he said he's going. He knows he's probably gonna he's going to meet up with Dr. Wood. And he wants to see firsthand where they're going and what they're gonna do. I don't know why he needs to know that, but that's it. Now, Wave decided to go because he's not planning to stay behind alone. He's going too. Anyways, Lava and Wave caught up to Peng, who saw him being lovey-dovey at the beach. They're actually having a secret little picnic at the beach. You know, no one's there. They're just having this private part on the beach. It's cute. Very cute. But even when seeing all that, Lava was determined to not leave until he saw the confirmation of really being in a relationship, and that's a kiss. And they did kiss. But while doing all that, Lava said to Wave that he feels like his uncle and Wood has been in a relationship maybe 2 years now. Now, Wave said, how you know that? Because Lava said he has an instinct of knowing things. Also, judging by the way they're acting and going touchy and kissing, even the part that they got out of the room with each other, says that all. But the thing he find hard to think about is that why is his uncle keeping it a secret? Why not just be open about the relationship? Judging by them, 2 years is really a long time to be keeping such a secret, right? So after seeing the love and the kiss, Wave finally convinced Lava to leave so they can get back to the work they're assigned to. But we hit another problem. See, Lava saw a spider on Wave's shoulder, and they were being quiet the entire time until Lava shouted and screamed and ran out exactly where Peng and Wood is. So now Peng and Wood saw that they have been followed by his nephew. Yeah, the jig is up. They then tried to lie that they didn't follow Peng. They went to go swimming. Yeah, but Peng didn't fall for any of the lies, especially Wave. Wave can't lie to him. So Wave eventually tells him, yeah, we did follow you. Anyways, after getting caught, lied, Lava looked at his uncle and was like, why are you hiding your relationship? Why not just go open about it? I asked the same question too. But then Peng said, hey, are you my father? Am I obligated to tell you anything? Technically, Lava is not wrong. He can be open about his relationship. I mean, his uncle then says he minds what he wants to do or whatever like that. Like if people care, because Lava said people won't care if you're in a relationship or not. Then Peng said I care, but then Lava makes serious sense. Even Wood said the same thing. Lava said that you might not care, but maybe Wood wants to be public, wants to go open, and said, okay, he wants to probably tell the world that he's in a relationship with you, but he can't do that if Peng won't let the people, know. But the thing is, Peng knows that that's the problem. Peng knows, but he's too stubborn to admit it. Whenever Lava opens his mouth, he offends people. But he speaks shit sometimes, but 100% of the time, his shit is facts. When they got home, Wave then asked to Lava that why is he so brave of everything, his sexuality, when he wants to talk about things, he's brave to say it. Lava said that's just him. He doesn't like to keep secret or hide anything. Then Wave said sometimes people out there do have secrets that they themselves doesn't want people to know, and that is Peng. Peng doesn't want people to know about his secret because maybe he's not ready to tell people yet. I'm not gonna lie, Wave speaks fact too. Wave also said that even if you're okay with it, some people aren't. Then Wave asked Lava if his parents knows about or his mom knows about his sexuality. Lava said maybe or maybe not. He's not sure, but he makes it known that he is gay. But the thing is, he's okay with it, but some people aren't, and Peng is not ready. But I'm just shocked that the relationship went on so long and nobody knows that Peng is in a relationship. After talking about Peng and Lava decided to make himself ramen, Wave decided to talk about the same topic that he was about to talk about before he got distracted. Lava got distracted. He started talking about the kiss that Lava landed on him last night. Lava said that he just wanted to do it because just the sake of wanting to do it, and he was just curious to see if it can open up a whole nother world for Wave, because he feels and knows that Wave is different, if that makes sense. But also, when Wave looked at Lava and asked him how he felt about kissing him because he felt different, Lava said to Wave that he felt nothing. It's just a normal kiss. It's nothing special. That sentence alone got Wave to feel some type of way and walked away. But how could you look at somebody and it's like, oh, it's nothing special, just a kiss? Dude. Okay, so Lava got paid, but he's not satisfied with the pay that his uncle gave him. The uncle then said that, you didn't do anything to deserve any raise anyways. Lava could sense that the uncle is upset because he found out about his secret with Dr. Wood. Peng said it was nothing about no relationship and he's not upset with him. It's just that his pay is fair. Then they're there because Peng's friend is coming, and you wouldn't even guess who that friend is, who the actor is playing. When I saw Thor, I was like, weren't you on live? You could have pinched me and say, yo, I'm going to be on that summer. But when I saw him and me along with Lava, we were looking at this friend and we're like, why do I feel like this is going to be trouble? Why do I feel like this man might like Peng? Something into something, and we just can't put it together. Anyways, Thor plays Korn, and Korn is Peng's college friend from Bangkok. So he's an archaeologist or whatever legist. He's here to study the land and maybe hopefully wants to stay here. That's what he said. Anyway, after about to get ready to leave, Lava saw the very man that they saw at the hotel. The guy that worked at the hotel and served Wave and Victor at the restaurant. That guy that took a picture of him saying that Lava lost his memory and hopefully he can help them. Yeah, he saw the guy driving a van. The very van that almost ran them over on the road. And just that particular van got Lava suspicious of who this guy is. I don't know who looked at this boy and said, "Oh, let me give you this hairstyle." They're cool for it. You know what it looked like those three Dumb and Dumber hairstyle in that little funny skit. You know what I'm talking about. For the oldies, they will know. For those who don't know, I don't know the name of it, but that's the hairstyle and that's what it's giving. So Lava, as usual, went to the public library because that's where Wave is teaching the child. So he went to the public library to pick up Wave, but Wave is still upset with Lava, and Lava knows that Wave is upset. He doesn't know why. So Wave told Lava why he's upset, and Lava is like, "Dude, I didn't think you would take it that seriously." And I paused that video so fast. I'm like, "Lava, you kissed a guy. You kissed someone." And then later on says nothing is not special. Why the hell would you kiss someone that is not special to you? Make it make sense. On the lips. On the lips. As that problem is not worse enough, they got accidentally locked in the library because the security guard didn't see them in there and locked them in. So now they need help to get out. And the help that Lava went with is calling Tom. You're probably wondering, how the hell is he calling when he has no phone? Yeah, he has a phone, just a hand-me-down from his uncle. Tom really wants to be a social media influencer out there, or at least a social media celebrity. He's willing to do anything, even dragging anyone with him. But he's just doing like normal little dancing trend you'll see people do on Snapchat or TikTok to get by. Not sure if you understand the word of, pushing it out there. Hashtag works, Tom. Put out hashtag, it works. But if he does become a celebrity, remember the little people. Tom said, literally speaking out love language to Kratai, saying that if he does become a celebrity and has money, he's coming for her because he's planning to pursue her. He's definitely confessing, but but happy for you with your security suit. Meanwhile, at the library, things got tense because Lava told Wave that he didn't expect that Wave to take what he said seriously. Wave then said that he may not remember much about his sexuality, but he knows that whatever he said to him about nothing special about the kiss or whatever, he felt that and it didn't feel so good. Then he forgave Lava for what he said. Then after that, Lava said, okay, let's try a different approach. And he wants to kiss him again because he was making sure that Wave is okay being gay and actually have a sexual preference, but also he wants to know if Wave likes Lava. Then they were about to kiss until Tom came. When Tom came, I was like, dude, you could have waited a little bit longer. So we're with Korn and Peng. So Korn and Peng sitting and relaxing and talking, and Korn then asks Peng if he's in a relationship, does he have a boyfriend? And I was like, oh, so this man is gay. Okay, but not only does he know he's gay, Korn is the ex for Peng. And I'm like, I knew there was something fishy in the damn waters. You're the ex? Oh my God. So after finding out that Peng has a relationship, Peng then tells Korn that he's not ready to tell anyone about this relationship, but he is happy to say, yeah, I'm in a relationship. Korn is like, okay, why aren't you telling everyone that you're in a relationship openly about it? He basically tells Peng the same thing that Lava said. He might want to be in a relationship openly, letting everybody knows that they're in a relationship. Korn then said the reason he broke up with Peng is because of the same situation, because Peng is so embarrassed of the relationship and he doesn't want the whole world to know that he is gay. Technically, we're in 2025. The law has changed, but that is just Peng. Korn then says he needs to change because eventually he might lose this one too. But while they were talking, Peng got distracted because in came the actual boyfriend. And when Wood saw them, he saw that, yep, there's something fishing in that water too. And he went right up to them and started up a conversation. Basically, trying to figure out who this guy is talking to my man. But when it comes to introduction, Peng introduced Watt as just a doctor and a friend in the island. He then said that this is Dr. Watt and he's basically the famous doctor around, and he introduced Watt to his friend Korn. But the thing is, because they're not public in the relationship, that's all they recognize each other as, Dr. Watt and Mr. Peng. I'm not sure if Korn really read that line or read the tension, but then Korn then says that he's just here for some time because he's planning to like move to this island and he doesn't really know much, so he asks he wants locals to help him. Wood sees that something is going on, so he said, the perfect person to tour you around is Peng. Korn then says, yeah, we went a lot of places, like hiking, stuff like that at this place. And that got Watt very jealous because of all this time he's been in a relationship with Peng, he never went any of those places. He basically hinted, yeah, I didn't went anywhere of those places. I was too busy, it seems. So I never get the chance to go those places. He was indicating that information to Peng because Peng never let him go anywhere because, again, they're in a secret relationship. Then Wood says he's gonna go to his shift because he doesn't want to be late. He's just here for coffee and left them. But you can look at Peng's face and said that he is upset. Wood is upset, but you can't comfort him in public. And also, you're wrong for that, Peng. You know you're wrong. So Lava and Wave went to the hotel where the man worked. The man that almost ran them over, the man that took a picture of them, the man that said he doesn't know them, that guy. He waited until he left his room so they can go in his room to try to see if they can find any stuff of Wave to see if he can jolt any of his memories. Okay, let's talk about details because I can't believe I reached so far and not one details have been said. But anyways, if we ever try to pick a lock the way Lava did, you will never be successful. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. It's got to be some loose lock, but it's not going to be that. Okay, after went inside the room, Wave spotted a bag, which is his bag. He said he recognizes the bag. Once he took out all the contents, mostly clothes, Lava saw a shirt that he recognizes that he saw when he saw him on the boat. So yes, it is confirmed that this is his bag, but there's nothing else in the bag other than clothes. But then the man came into the room, and of course Lava and Wave have to hide, but the man noticed that someone has been into his room because there are things at places he never put them. But we also noticed that the man is not working for Victor because when he came in, he was on the phone talking about how he found some people's things and he's about to sell it. So basically he's a thief. He used the advantage of working into the hotel and goes into the people's room and steal their valuables and then sell it. That is pretty much what this man is. After getting caught and almost trying to kill Lava, thank God for Wave with his instinct and getting up glass bottle and smashing it on this guy's head. Anyways, they tied him up and asked him for answers. He started crying, saying that he doesn't want to go to the police, even though that's where they were gonna put him. He wants to make money because he doesn't have much and he has a mother and a son. The mother is paralyzed and the son he has is very little. I believe the son he's talking about is the boy that Wave's been teaching him piano lessons. But anyways, he said that he only did this to gain money and he sells people valuables to get monies to take care of his family. Wave then looked at him because Lava was doing the bad guy and Wave was doing the good guy thing. Anyways, after Lava spoke his badness and wanted to beat him up and send him to the police, Wave calmed Lava. Wave then looked at the man and sees that the man is desperate and he's crying. He then asked him, where did he get his stuff from? The man said that he waited until Wave went out to the fireworks and then stole that bag. Literally, that was when he stole his stuff. Then Wave then looked at the man and said, what about my documents, my passport and stuff? Homeboy burnt it. I was pissed off. I'm like, dude, you burn his identity? The one thing that he can look at and just remember, oh, that's my name. You burned it. He said he didn't want anyone connecting him with the stolen goods, so he had to burn the stuff. Great. Now Wave does nothing. Wade then looked at the man and sees that the man really is sorry and he is crying hard. He also looked at the man and sees that he really does need the money, but also has told the man that being in poverty is not an excuse to actually steal from people. It was never the right thing to do. He also looked at the man and said he must promise never to do that again. The man then said yes, he promised to not do that again. Honestly, I hope he does keep his promise, because the next time he get caught, it might not be in good terms. Maybe the person that he offended could be him off, or he could not feel sorry for him and send him to the police, and then there won't be anyone to take care of his mother and his son. You need to think about those two people when dealing with things like this. He lucky that he ended up getting caught by Wave and Lava, because the next person might not be the greatest person. Honestly, Wave is too good for his own good. Dude, I never know when Satang had dimples. I gotta add that to my list. So cute. Then Lava went out to a convenience store, and then upon coming out of the convenience store, he saw the noodle shop owner's son bullying some kid. Now, originally, Lava would just run and help someone, but you're outnumbered here. And also, sometimes you just mind your own business. Just mind your own business. And that is exactly what Lava did. He minded his own business and rode off. At the hospital, Peng being cute in front of Wood. But Wood is not having it. Wood sees that Peng was out with his ex. Peng is like, how'd you know that he was my ex? He's like, I could tell. He also told Peng that he is not comfortable with him being with his ex because he's get jealous, and also he's very upset that he can't go places with Peng just as how he did with his ex. I'm not sure, but yeah, the ex didn't get to go much places with Peng either, but you don't need to know that. Wood also Woods definitely tells Peng that what Lava said at the beach about him not feeling comfortable being in secret was all true. Now, Peng knows all of this, and he knows he's wrong. I do love that he didn't stand up and argue back. He literally sit there and listen, because technically he's in the wrong here. I'm not sure what he's planning to do, but he needs to figure it out before he loses this man. Hey, you can tell that they filmed this thing on summer, because one, there ain't no water, because in the pilot there was a lot of water, and two, looking at Satang's back, you know this boy leaned on the wall and sweat. They didn't even try to hide the sweat. They just filmed it and went with it. I don't know why it took me 4 weeks to realize that Winnie had freckles. If it was makeup, it suits him so well with the tan. If it's not makeup, then wow, flawless. Also, they're talking about how Lava acted towards the kiss and how he felt like he didn't care about it. And Lava apologized to Wave because that's how he is. He didn't really mean it in a way that he really didn't care, because he really cared. It's just that he didn't want it to feel like, I'm not sure what I know, but yeah. Okay, so tension started. You know, that very tension that was about to happen in the library until Tooms ruined it? Yeah. Anyways, that happened, and he took it all the way to home. Yeah, they took it home. Now, when the uncle came back and he saw that the light bulb was fixed, I was like, Lava and Wave wouldn't be that stupid to be in that room doing the do, right? But it turns out it wasn't. Looking at the interior, it wasn't them in the room. But the light bulb is fixed. Now, with spicy moves like this, got me to realize that Winnie and Satang has potential. Jojo, you picked right, my friend. Just give them some more drama and we talking business.